कोर्स प्रैक्टिस टेस्ट की डिस्कशन करेंगे. So let's begin. So the first MCQ is true about aluminium. It belongs to group 3B. No, it belongs to group 3A. Its electronic configuration is 2s2 2p1. This is wrong. Although it belongs to group 3, but it belongs to period number 3 as well. So its valence shell configuration is 3s2 3p1. It belongs to period 3. This is the correct statement. So C is the correct option. Radius of argon is greatest in third period because. तो आर्गॉन का रेडियस इसलिए सबसे बड़ा है कि इट्स एटम इज लार्जेस्ट इन साइज. नो, इट्स स्मॉलेस्ट इन साइज एक्चुअली. इट इज द लास्ट मेंबर ऑफ पीरियड. नो, लास्ट मेंबर ऑफ पीरियड्स हैव स्मॉलेस्ट रेडियस एज रेडियस डिक्रीजेस अलोंग द पीरियड. इट्स मेजर्ड रेडियस इज वैन डर वाल्स रेडियस. दिस इज करेक्ट बिकॉज आर्गॉन के लिए हम जो रेडियस मेजर करते हैं दैट इज not the actual radius of argon atom. The measured radius for argon is the closest distance between two argon atoms divided by 2, which is not the actual radius but greater than the actual radius. Greatest ionization energy is possessed by. So for this we see the group number of the elements given. So magnesium is group 2 element, silicon is group 4 element, phosphorus is group 5 element, sulfur is group 6 element. So along the period ionization energy increases. We choose the two highest groups, phosphorus and sulfur. अब हम इनमें देखेंगे कि एबनॉर्मल ट्रेंड तो कहीं नहीं है. सो देयर इज एबनॉर्मल ट्रेंड के ग्रुप 5 की आयोनाइजेशन एनर्जी ग्रुप 6 से ज़्यादा है. सो फॉस्फोरस इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. करेक्ट ऑर्डर ऑफ मेल्टिंग पॉइंट ऑफ पीरियड 3 नॉन मेटालिक एलिमेंट्स. सो पीरियड 3 में हमारे पास नॉन मेटल्स में मौजूद है फॉस्फोरस, सल्फर, क्लोरीन एंड आर्गॉन. Now the melting point depends upon the size of molecule. Phosphorus exists as P4, sulfur exists as S8, chlorine exists as Cl2. So सबसे बड़ा size है sulfur का, so its London forces are strongest, therefore its melting point is greatest, followed by P4, followed by Cl2, followed by argon. So the correct option is D. Sulfur burns in air with a. Sulfur burns in air with a pale blue flame that is given in KPK textbook. Most acidic oxide. Now as we move along the period, non-metallic character increases and acidity of oxide also increases along the period. Now this is group 3 element, this is group 4 element, this is group 5 element and this is group 7 element. So सबसे राइट साइड पे हमें क्लोरीन मिलता है, सो इसकी ऑक्साइड सबसे ज़्यादा एसिडिक होगी. Most stable peroxide is formed on reaction by. So in group 1 we see the trend of peroxides as we go down the group. The stability of peroxide increases from lithium to sodium. Sodium forms the most stable peroxide and then it again decreases as we move down to cesium. Therefore sodium is forming the most stable peroxide. Which metal does not liberate hydrogen upon reaction with acids? So metals usually liberate hydrogen upon reaction with acids, but due to its anomalous behavior, beryllium does not do so. That is given in anomalous behavior of beryllium. Incorrect state reaction regarding beryllium hydroxide. So beryllium hydroxide is amphoteric, it reacts with base. This reaction is correct. It's amphoteric, it reacts with acid as well. This is also correct. Now here beryllium hydroxide is insoluble in water. It does not dissolve in water to ionize. Therefore this reaction is wrong. So C is the correct option. Which is not a property of transition elements. They form alloys, it is their property. They show variable oxidation states, this is also correct. Their compounds are colored, it is also correct. They form diamagnetic compound, this is wrong. They usually form paramagnetic compounds. Number of unpaired electrons in CO plus 2. So electronic configuration of cobalt is 4s2 3d7. Now cobalt plus 2 is 4s0 3d7. So its 3d orbital contains 7 electrons, among which 3 electrons are unpaired. TiCl4 is used as a catalyst in TiCl4 is used as a catalyst in polymerization of ethene to give polyethene. IUPAC name of Na2FeCN5NO is. So first of all we name sodium. Then we have pentacyano because negative ends with O. Then we have this neutral ligand nitrosyl, and then we have ferrate. So it is sodium pentacyano nitrosyl ferrate. Now moving towards the oxidation state, here we have +2, this is -2, 5 cyanide form -5, and iron would be +3. So C is the correct option. Tetradentate ligand among the following is EDTA is a hexadentate ligand. Ethylene diamine and hydrazine both are bidentate ligand. EDDA, ethylene diamine diacetate. So this is ethylene diamine containing 2 nitrogen atoms. So 2 lone pairs can be donated from here. And then we have diacetate. So 1 lone pair from here can be donated and 1 lone pair from here can be donated. So it is a tetradentate ligand. Rolled gold is an alloy of. So this is given in textbook table, and this table is very important in the D and F block elements. So it is alloy of copper and aluminium. In which complex the central metal atom is in +3 oxidation state. So let's see, here we have -6 +4 +2. Here the whole is neutral, so chlorine is -2, platinum is +2. Here we have +2 and this is -2 and this is -4 and it is +2. Here we have -3 +3 here, both these are neutral, so chromium is +3. So D is the correct option. Lowest percentage of carbon is present in. So lignite coal has lowest percentage of carbon and anthracite has highest percentage of carbon. That is given in textbook. Production of urea by using methane and air is an example of. So production of organic compound by using the most basic raw materials, that is called total synthesis. Cresol can be obtained by fractional distillation of. So coal tar is a fraction of coal, or which gives important aromatic hydrocarbons on fractional distillation. Sulfur containing heterocyclic compound. So pyridine is nitrogen containing heterocyclic compound. Thiophene contains sulfur, furane contains oxygen, and pyrrole contains nitrogen. So sulfur containing heterocyclic compound is thiophene. Which pair of general formula are the same? Now this is general formula of alcohols, and this is for ethers. This is for ketones and this is for aldehydes. This is for carboxylic acids and this is for esters. So all these pairs give us functional group isomers, which means that all these general formula are the same. Vicinal dihalide and geminal dihalide are. So vicinal dihalide contains 2 halogens at adjacent positions and geminal contains 2 halogens at same position. So position of halogen is different, therefore they are position isomers. The formula C4H8 can be shared by how many structural and geometrical isomers? So this formula corresponds to alkenes and cycloalkanes both. So let's see how many alkenes do we have with this formula. So first one is 1-butene. Second one is cis-2-butene. Third one is second is trans-2-butene. Third one is cis-2-butene. Then we have another one, isopropylene. Then among the cycloalkanes, we have 4-carbon cyclobutane, which has C4H8 formula. And another one is methyl cyclopropane that has the same formula. So it is shared by total 6 isomers. Which compound can show metamerism? So ether starts showing metamerism with at least 4 or more carbons. So dimethyl ether has 2 carbons, it does not show metamerism. Ethyl methyl ether has 3 carbons. Diethyl ether has 4 carbons, so it is able to show metamerism. Compound showing optical activity. 2-methyl 2-butene, it is alkene, therefore they are not optically active. 1-chlorobutane. So here we have chlorine, but this carbon is not chiral because 2 of the groups are same, so this also does not show. 2-hydroxypropanoic acid, this is lactic acid and it is famous for optical activity. Which alkane boils at highest temperature? Pentane is a straight chain alkane. Isopentane has 1 branch and neopentane has 2 branches. Therefore, pentane being a straight chain has highest boiling point. Due to their low reactivity, alkanes are also called, so alkanes are called param for low, affins for affinity, so B is the correct option. Major product formed in chlorination of methane when methane is in excess is, so whenever alkane will be in excess and halogen will be less, so the major product would be mono, and when alkane is less and halogen is more, then tetra substituted would be major product. So here mono substituted methyl chloride would be major product. Enthalpy of combustion is lowest for, so enthalpy of combustion is lowest for that compound which is most stable. Now 1-butene is this one. It contains only one substituent attached to double bonded carbons. Trans 2-butene contains 2 alkyl groups attached to double bonded carbons. It is more stable than 1-butene. Then cis 2-butene also contains 2 alkyl groups, but it is less stable than the trans isomer. And the fourth one is isobutylene. It contains branching. So 2 substituents are present, but a branch is also present, so it is most stable of all of these, so D is the correct option. Hydration of propene using H2SO4 gives, so whenever we hydrogenate propene, so water adds according to Markovnikov's rule, H goes to this carbon and OH goes to this carbon, so we get 2-propanol, so B is the correct option. Oxirane is the end product of, oxirane is the other name for epoxide. So epoxide is formed by epoxidation of alkene. Dehydrohalogenation of vicinal dihaloethane in first step gives. So this is a vicinal dihaloethane. Now in the first step, one of the HX is removed and we get vinyl. This is for vinyl group and this is halogen, so we get vinyl halide. Reaction distinguishing ethene from ethine. So ethene is a double bonded alkene and ethine is a triple bonded alkyne. Keep in mind that ethine is acidic as well. So reaction with Cu2Cl2 and NH4OH is specific to terminal or acidic alkynes, and they give red precipitate with terminal alkynes. So this reaction or the Tollens reaction can be used to distinguish them. Mesitylene is basically this compound. So here CH3 is at first, third and fifth carbon. So 1,3,5 trimethyl benzene. Substitution of 2 methyl hydrogens of toluene by Cl gives. So this is toluene. 1 Cl replacement gives benzyl chloride. 2 Cl gives benzyl chloride. And 3 Cl gives benzo trichloride. So 2 will give benzyl chloride. Methylation of toluene gives the major product. So methylation of toluene, since CH3 is orthoparadirecting, so the major product would be ortho because there are two ortho positions, followed by para because CH3 is ortho para directing, and least formed substituent is metaxylene. So ortho is the most strong activator of benzene. So strong activators group are those groups which contain lone pair on the atom that is directly attached to benzene, like NH2, like NHR, like OH. So here NHR is given as the option, so it is strong activator. In a mixture of alkyl halide and water, if the lower layer is alkyl halide, then so in alkyl halide and water, if lower layer is alkyl halide and upper layer is water, it means that this is denser than water. So alkyl halides denser than water are either bromides or iodides. So here C is bromide. In a reaction between alcohol and halogen acid, the most quickly formed alkyl halide is. So, in this reaction, OH bond of alcohol is being broken. So, order of reactivity is tertiary, followed by secondary, followed by primary. So, tertiary alcohol quickly reacts to give tertiary alkyl halide. Alpha carbon of primary alkyl halide is. So this is alpha carbon. So halogen is negative, carbon is positive. So carbon itself is electrophilic and it would attract our nucleophile. So carbon is electrophilic. True about reaction between OH minus and methyl chloride. So OH minus and methyl chloride, how do they react? So OH minus attacks this alpha carbon and substitution occurs. So it follows SN2 mechanism, not SN1. Inversion of configuration occurs. This is also not correct because this compound is not optically active. Partial racemization occurs in SN1. This reaction occurs in a single step. This is correct because methyl and primary alkyl halides react through SN2 reaction. Dihydric alcohols are called glycols because of their sweet taste. So this is given in the book. Most acidic alcohol. So in alcohol, the smaller the R group, the greater is the acidity because electron donating groups decrease the acidity. So most acidic would be methanol. On reduction of an ester, the acyl group gives. So this is an ester. Now this acyl group always gets converted into primary alcohol by attaching 3 hydrogens to itself. So this will always give us primary alcohol. This side can give us either primary, secondary or tertiary depending upon the ester. But acyl always groups primary alcohol. To form phenol, benzene sulfonic acid is treated with. So benzene sulfonic acid is basically hydrolyzed by using NaOH. NaOH hydrolyzes benzene sulfonic acid to give us phenol. Which compound is most readily oxidized? So in alcohols, primary alcohols and secondary alcohols are very easily oxidized. Tertiary alcohols are usually not oxidized due to absence of alpha hydrogen. But phenol is more readily oxidized than all the alcohols as well. So phenol is the most readily oxidized compound. IUPAC name of glyoxal is, so this is the compound glyoxal. So it is a dialdehyde containing 2 carbons. So we call it ethane dial. Which compound cannot show position isomerism? So aldehydes do not show position isomerism because this aldehydic group is always attached at the terminal end of the chain. Therefore, they do not show position isomerism. Alcohols can be oxidized to aldehydes or ketones using. So KMnO4 and K2Cr2O7, both of them oxidize alcohols to aldehydes or ketones, but they cause further oxidation of alcohols to carboxylic acids. Therefore, to oxidize them into aldehydes and ketones, we use the reagent BCC. So this is the correct option. Butane dioic acid is called, so this is a 4-carbon dicarboxylic acid and it is called succinic acid. Strongest acid is formic acid, chloroacetic acid, nitroacetic acid and dichloroacetic acid. Now electron withdrawing groups increase the acidity and nitro is stronger than chloro, but whenever we choose number over strength, we give preference to number. So here we have 2 chlorine groups, therefore this acid would be strongest. Anhydride reacts with alcohols to give. So any carboxylic acid derivative except amides, they react with alcohol and the nucleophile of alcohol OR replaces this nucleophilic portion and gives us ester as the end product. So B is the correct option. Glyceraldehyde is, so glyceraldehyde and dihydroxyacetones are 2 trioses. Proteins attached to prosthetic group or cofactor are called, so such proteins are called compound proteins.